This is Team 54, Fall 2019. This is our HoverCraft project.
We had to gather information and brainstorm to get this thing to work. And so the lab provided us a Excel sheet where we could plug in like PSI and CFM and stuff like that, and we could figure out that the certain pressure required to lift something had a certain CFM, and so that required a lot of fan chart following and stuff like that. And after we got the certain fan charts and certain requirements and certain pressures for each of our possible designs, we kind of picked out the best one, and that's kind of how we went about gathering information and choosing our design, was through all these equations and through the optimal solution of pressure and CFM.
Alright, so moving on from gathering information, we had to analyze our data, and using this data we were able to select a fan by analyzing our fan curves. The fan that we picked fit our dimensions very well because it had great CFM for the amount of pressure that we needed, which means we didn't have to make the deck bigger than the size that it could be. So it was 22 by 22. That was our first deck.
For our design, build, test, redesign, and optimize part of the project, we built our craft out of pink styrofoam using knives and hot glue, lots of hot glue and duct tape. And we tested it, but it didn't work, so we thrashed it. Then we moved on to Gabe's good plan of using wooden planks, and he made it too small, so we also had to trash that. And then we came up with a better solution of using lighter styrofoam, and with that, we built our third hovercraft with lighter foam, and turned out it worked great.
Great. So to communicate our solution, I'm basically going to summarize our third hovercraft, and that's basically that we used a lighter deck material to reach our solution, opposed to the wood and to the pink styrofoam. This was way lighter, could easily get everything to move. But the problem was we needed to make stabilizers. So these stabilizers had to be way more heavy than the other two. And so we added batteries to them, we added all sorts of different weights. And because of that, it really pushed everything down and got it to move.
This class sort of changed my impression of engineering because I realized it's a lot less about math and it's not always about being right. It's more about how you function with others and if you can actually make your ideas work, and how you interact with those people in your groups and how you solve problems together. I wish at the start of Engineering 100 someone had told me that the importance of having a really good group and understanding and communicating with your group, because without a really good group, it's a lot harder to just get your hovercraft to work in general, and it makes each checkpoint a lot more stressful. But if you work really well together and you communicate well, then each checkpoint is a lot easier. I think our greatest challenge in Engineering 100 was probably figuring out how to balance our deck, because we had one fan, so your base is already going to start turning. Your hovercraft is going to turn, so our hardest challenge was trying to get it so that it just stayed straight and went in a straight direction. And by the end of it, our solution to that problem, because we had fought it for 3 checkpoints, was just adding stabilizers and making sure those stabilizers had the biggest, heaviest wheels that we could find, because that gives it a little bit more friction, which stops it from turning. And that was probably the biggest challenge we faced while building the hovercraft.
Spotlight,